World Chess Baku Grand Prix being played from October 1st to October 15th, 2014. Great world-class players. One of the qualifying tournaments for the World Championship for next year. Here are the standings in Baku Grand Prix 2014, one of the qualification tournaments for the candidates final for next year's World Championship. Tied for first is Fabiano Caruana and Boris Gelfand at 3 points. Second place is my buddy Karl Nakamura from the U.S., Peter Svidler, both with 2.5. Kazmanjanov, Chalmashevsky, Karyakin, and Rajabov at 2 points. Dominguez and Grishuk at 1.5. And Mamedyarov and Andreikin still winless yet, each with a point each. This is a great tournament, folks. A lot of great players here. Hi, folks. John Cordisco back again. Round 4 of the FIDE Grand Prix in Baku 2014. This is a wild, wild game, I'll tell you. Fabiano Caruana, Italian-American, as white, and Mamedyarov as black. It's a wild game. Wait till we get to it. It's really, really crazy. Caruana's white, Mamedyarov's black. It's going to be a Slav. I'll go through the first few moves here just to get through the opening. Queen to b6, standard stuff. I kind of like this setup. When the queen goes here, if bishop takes, of course you get the queen here, and that raises all kinds of havoc. This pawn's going to come up in Prix, so you can't take the knight. Queen to b6, then the knight moves. Bishop h5, h3, getting ready to chase the bishop away. g5, hitting the knight. Nice moves. This is getting crazy already, and we're only on move 8. I'm sure this is all booked, but it's crazy to me. Knight there, pawn c5, hitting the queen. Queen backs off. Now I've got my Fritz 13 computer on off screen, and queen to c7 and queen takes b3 are about the same in score. Queen to c7, bishop d3, finally getting this piece. I'm not so sure. I probably would have gone to here instead. But it probably wants to stop the knight from coming here. Bishop d3, rook g8, interesting, but he wants to push. And oddly enough, this bishop needs to guard this pawn. So this is getting weird already. Queen to c2, and then he wants to bring the queen in to help with reinforce the bishop on d3. Knight comes up. Looks like black's ready to castle on the queen side. And so white goes for it. b4. Now it's about a half pawn advantage right now for white, but already we're on move 13, and this looks crazy to me. It's going to be a hell of a game. You can just tell already. Bishop e7. b2. I wish I had enough nerve to play games like this. g4. If the bishop had taken f3, give you an idea, after g takes e5. Tiny advantage, third of a pawn for white. After g4 though, h takes, rook takes, and bishop takes are fairly close. Actually, the computer's #1 move is bishop to g6, believe it or not. Rook takes. White doesn't castle on the queen side, which I thought he would. He goes king to f1. He wants to keep this rook on the only semi-open file that white has. Black castles right away, just get out of danger. Knight to e2. Now you're going to see later in this game, there's going to be a ton of piece sacrifices. It's crazy stuff. Rook over. You got double rooks right on the king. Looks pretty good for Mamedyarov. Knight to f4. Double edge move. Hits the bishop and guards the pawn both. Very good. Rook takes. Now we have exchange sacrifice. That's sacrifice number 1. Bishop takes. G takes. Now, when was the last time you saw this? 2 files onto the white king and triple pawns. I'll tell you what, Caruana's got nerves of steel. Queen takes the pawn. King to e2. Move that king right up in front of the queen. Wow. And oddly enough, I would think this would be a fairly even game, or maybe an advantage towards black. But right now, it's about a pawn and a quarter advantage for white. Man, these guys got nerves of steel. Rook to g2. Look at this. We got a queen and a rook. Right on it. Amazing stuff. Queen to c1. Get that queen out of there. Black moves queen to g3. Now, as you see, white can't take, of course, because of the pin on the queen. Now, believe it or not, it's a 2-point advantage for white. I thought it'd be a little closer than that. White looks in a lot of danger, but he seems to be holding his position. White goes queen to f1. Get that queen right in there. There we go. Knight to g4. Bring in another attacker. Sacrifice another piece. What does Caruana do? He takes the knight. Queen takes check. Now basically what we have here is a rook for 2 pawns. Black's down a rook for 2 of white's pawns. King to d2. I think what's happening is Mamedyarov's hoping that he'll mess up, but to tell you the truth, the attacking pieces are starting to run out. Queen checks. King goes back to e2. Computer likes e1 or c3. Frankly, I probably would have went to c2 or c3 just to get out of that side of the board. But they always have this check. If king goes here, rook checks. King to e2. Queen checks. I think he's hoping for a perpetual. King to e1. Knight to e5. Here's another piece. He's sacrificing, but this time he doesn't take it. He plays bishop e2. If d had taken, queen takes pawn check, king to d1, queen takes b2. And the game's back being about even, believe it or not. It's 3 pawns for a rook, but still even in score. That dark square bishop for black's going to get in the game any moment. Bishop to e2. Queen to e4, pitting that bishop. And protecting the rook on g2. King to d1. Wow, this is crazy. Crazy stuff. Bishop g5. His last remaining piece. We just sacrificed too many pieces. He left the knight in Prix. He's just a move behind. And now queen takes b4. King to c2. Queen takes pawn check. King to b1. There go the checks. And his rook is hanging. He's got to play rook takes. Queen to d1. And right now white is fine. 5 pawns for a rook and a bishop. He's just out of material. What else can he do? Queen to e3, hoping for a miracle. And rook to e1. And that's where Mamedyarov. So that's it. I've had enough. I've sacrificed everything I can sacrifice. I've got nothing left. I'll tell you what. Great nerve by Caruana to make the moves that he did. Have his king right in the field of fire. And if you remember, the king was all the way over here. Here, 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 here. The king moved all over the place. And Fabiano found the right moves to win the game. Heck of a game. Mamedyarov just rolled the dice and hopefully they were going to come up for him, but unfortunately they didn't. Anyway, folks, that's another game from round 4 of the FIDE Grand Prix in Baku 2014. I hope you enjoyed it. I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.